Fishermen at the Jamestown beach say fish catch has not improved even after a month-long closed fishing season implemented by government to improve the fish stock. As you may be aware, government imposed a ban on fishing from May 15th to June 15th, although fish experts kicked against it, insisting that the scientifically accepted period for the ban is August. Well, 3 months after the ban was lifted, the fishermen say they're catching more weeds and plastics instead of fish. Henry Kwesibedu visited the fishing community and has this report read to you.
Fishermen returned to the shores of Jamestown after toiling several hours on seas, hoping for a good catch. What they find is disappointing. Their nets rather trapped plastics, weeds, and small fishes. Fishermen say they spent hundreds of cedis on fuel and got very little catch, thereby running into debt. Many fishermen now idle on the beach. Others mend their nets, preparing for a fruitless fishing quest, as they choose to describe it. Joseph Boche has been fishing for the past 42 years. He vehemently opposed the closed season, which stopped them from fishing for a month. The fisher folks say it didn't make the needed impact of improving the depleting fish stock.
The aftermath is negative. The closed season didn't have any impact on our business. We rarely have bumper harvest. We always had a bumper harvest. Prior to the celebration of the Homo Festival, but we can't say same for this year. Our catch is full of small fishes. Our worry is that we are not having bumper harvest these days. And we are not making enough money. In fact, we live from hand to mouth. The situation is bad. The closed season didn't benefit us, and the Fisheries Ministry should intervene. It should regulate the Chinese trawlers on our sea. If it does that, there'll be peace.
Fishmongers have also been affected. They say their businesses have been on the decline due to lack of vigorous fishing activities here.
The situation is not great. We hardly make sales and the fishermen make no catch. Life here is now difficult. Times are really hard. The fishermen go to sea with fuel worth hundreds of cedis and come back with nothing.
Experts say they are not surprised about the complaints from fishermen, having warned about the timing of the closed season. According to scientific research, fish in the tropics reproduce in a peak season of August, but the closed season was implemented in May when the fishes were not reproducing at their peak. Here is chairman of the technical working group, Professor Kobina Yangsin.
May-June is not appropriate to close the season in our waters. May-June is not the right time because at that time the fish, they are not in their breeding season. The peak month is August. If you close the season at a time when the fish are not in their breeding season, what are you saving? You are not saving anything. If you close the season in May, June, and then you catch them in August when they are breeding, it means you are not allowing the adults to reproduce. So if it is in August that we have majority of the fish reproducing. So why don't we protect them and allow them to reproduce so that they will add on to the population? That is the scientific basis.
For Joy News, Henry Kwesibedu's report.
So let's get some more on this particular issue. We're joined on the line by Deputy Director at the Fisheries Commission, Kofi Amador. Mr. Amador, thank you for your time this afternoon. But it looks like the chickens have come home to roost. The scientific persons seem to have advised, but we went against the advice, and the fishermen are saying the result is not as expected.
Yes, it's true. Actually, it should be in August, September. Those are the spawning season for the fish. And actually, the previous year, that was what was proposed, where the fishermen kicked against it. They came with their own date in May and June. And that's actually, it isn't the right time to do that. But since they have accepted or they think that could work, we just want to give that a try.
But again, people have said that what we actually did was to succumb to the pressure by these fishermen, even though we had expert advice. And by succumbing to the pressure, we're seeing the results, which is as good as nothing from the perspective of the fishermen we spoke to, at least.
Yeah, but as a matter of fact, even if the closure came in August, September, it's necessary we follow the regulations, not using maybe dynamite and the rest of them for fishing. If those things are followed strictly, and of course it doesn't take just one season to replenish the stock. It takes more than that, and besides, you need to go strictly to the regulations that is put there. But when you go in that haphazard manner and still keeping on to your old or your unacceptable practices of harvesting, it wouldn't yield much actually.
It looks like that's what we have done. It looks like that's where we are at the moment. And I do remember very well speaking to Professor Yankson and to the Deputy Minister here, and the contest was on. He said that Professor Yankson's position was that if we go through this and we do not see the catch, the fishermen do not see the catch they're expecting, they will not be inclined to respect the ban the next time it is imposed. What is the Commission and the Ministry, if I should put it, going to do about this situation?
Oh, as a matter of fact, it's not a one-day, it's not supposed to be a one-stop shop. It's supposed to be a continual affair. Else, we wouldn't actually get the result we want.
So what's going to happen now? In the next, are we going to ban fishing again next year?
Of course, that should be the right. It's not supposed to be a one-time show. Every year, it should come on.
And so are we going to do it in May, June, or August, September?
No. To the best. What we actually propose, like the professor said, is supposed to be in August, September. That's the best time for the closure. If you want to see results, that's the best time.
So next year?
That, you actually keep on, to the regulations. Try to obey the regulations. If you go by that, I think we'll see results rather than maybe one-stop shop something and then we end it over there.
So the point I'm trying to get, the question I'm trying to answer for our viewers is whether or not we're going to ban fishing next year and it is going to happen in August.
That's exactly what we are expecting. We expect to ban in August or even more. If it could be done maybe more than 1 month, that would even be the best. That would yield better result than just one-stop something.
I also understand that you've gathered some statistics from your own work. Could you share that result with us?
It's too early to come out with those statistics.
Very well.
So we are looking at them.
Very well, Mr. Mr. Amado, thank you so much for your time, and hopefully we will keep an eye on this story to find out if the situation is the same at other fishing harbors or is the same as other coastline areas. Kofi Amado is the Deputy Director of the Fisheries Commission.